The Atlanta Falcons, the team that sadly blew a 28-3 lead against the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. Now, I was extremely high on the Atlanta Falcons last season, and they did even better than I predicted. I had the Atlanta Falcons in 2016 going 10-6, and they went 11-5 and had a miraculous playoff run, which ended terribly. Now, this offseason was extremely kind to the Atlanta Falcons as they just got better and better on the defensive side of the football. With Kyle Shanahan departing and going to the San Francisco 49ers, can this offense under the drunk man Steve Sarkisian make it back to the Super Bowl? What is up, guys? Slump here, and this is my 2017 NFL season preview for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I've seen a ton of people write this team off and had them collapsing like the Carolina Panthers did this past season. But listen here, the Panthers got worse, the Falcons got better. Now, we finally saw Matt Ryan step up and get everybody involved. I'm talking about Taylor Gabriel, who was a bag of garbage until he came to the Atlanta Falcons, and now after his contract is up, he's going to be paid like a number 2 wide receiver. This man Matty Ice is out here blessing people, and we're not showing him enough respect for it. The reason why the Falcons had a rough 2015 season, even though things were looking up with the 5-0 start they had, was they didn't have the greatest offensive line. We all know the youngin' Jake Matthews really was struggling a bit, but guess who came and saved the day? Alex Mack. The center position, in my opinion, is the most underrated position in all of football. They are the guys, they are the heart and soul of the offensive line, and you guys getting him in the 2016 offseason paved the way for your miraculous playoff run, which got you all the way to the Super Bowl. This year, you really only lost one guy on the offensive line in Chris Chester, Ryan Schrader, Jake Matthews, Andy Levitre, Alex Mack. Those 4 guys are going to continue playing at a high level this upcoming season, and I expect them to get this man Matty Ice a ton of time to throw the ball. And let's talk about the running backs real quick, okay? We obviously know the dual-headed beast, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. Tevin Coleman is more of a receiving back, but he can also run it when necessary. The running back position just makes this team that much deadlier. As we all know, the wide receivers have been good for a very long time. But when Devontae Freeman emerged, that just made the Atlanta Falcons an unstoppable force on offense. It's going to take a lot for a team to hold this team to under 30 points, and I can't see it happening next season. There's only going to be like 3 games next season that you guys don't score more than 30 points. The Falcons are unstoppable on offense, and the sooner the teams realize that, the better. The only thing you can do is try to slow them down and pray at that point, because unless Matt Ryan has an off game, there's no stopping the Falcons offense. Well, we're talking about the wide receivers. Julio Jones is a one-man show. You can go on and talk about how Mohamed Sanu was worth the money, how Taylor Gabriel is an all-star in the making, Justin Hardy, he's a speedy demon. He's a great player to mix it up with. All of those 4 guys are threats to get over 1,000 yards under Matt Ryan. If Julio goes down, then say hello to Taylor Gabriel and his 1,000-yard season. But Julio Jones, in my opinion, is a must-get in fantasy football if the running backs are off the table. And the only running backs I'm talking about are David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, and Ezekiel Elliott. Those are the only guys that should go over Julio Jones because of their trade value. But Julio Jones is always the safe pick. I've always had him in fantasy, and he's done me well. So do not fall for the false narrative that he won't be healthy enough for the season. Trust me, he'll be out there playing. Now, we're talking about the tight ends, Austin Hooper, Levine Toilolo, and Eric Sobart. Listen, Austin Hooper is a young buck, second best tight end in his draft class. He needs to take a step up, alright? We need to see him on the field more. We need to see him actually bring in more yards. Yeah, Toilolo is a solid run blocker, and yes, it's good to have him in for some plays, but make Austin Hooper the feature tight end on this team. I really see a bright future for this kid. Hopefully you guys take advantage of him, and hopefully he's able to get this man Matt Ryan over 5,000 yards. He's going to be the key to getting Matt Ryan a second MVP. Now, under Steve Sarkisian, I'm actually exhilarated to see how this offense plays. We all know when it comes to changing schemes, it's going to be a bit more difficult to actually predict, but trust me, this team has way too much firepower, and with a quarterback like Matty Ice, things are going to be hard to stop. So yeah, that's my offensive preview. Now let's get into the defensive side of the ball. Now, the prized possession of the Atlanta Falcons defense is their front seven, and yeah, that is kind of weird to say considering just a couple years ago, the Atlanta Falcons literally had no defensive linemen. Now, last year I saw Vic Beasley finally breaking out, and he did better than anybody expected. I mean, you can't expect this man to actually lead the league in sacks. Now, the reason why I saw him breaking out was because of Dwight Freeney. The veteran support helps a player more than people actually think, but this year it's going to be kind of weird seeing this man at the outside linebacker spot. Right now on the defensive front, you guys got Grady Jarrett, Dontari Poe, Takk McKinley, who right now has some injury concerns, but he'll be ready for the season, and Adrian Claiborne and Courtney Upshaw. You guys honestly have one of the better defensive line depth in the league, and I can't wait to see how they play this upcoming season with Vic Beasley on the outside. Now, we all know Deion Jones, okay? Deion Jones, the rookie who was a candidate for the Defensive Rookie of the Year. He was a steal in the draft and good. Now you guys added another linebacker who might be a steal in Duke Riley to pair him up with. I'm telling you, man, this linebacker core, this defensive line, things are gonna look better and better as it's like the Falcons are only getting better. They're not getting worse by any means. They're just constantly getting better. We all know Deion Jones is a thumper. Let's see if Duke Riley can come in and make the same impact this man Deion Jones did his rookie campaign. Now, the cornerback, like I said, just getting better, okay? In the playoffs, you guys obviously didn't have Desmond Trufant, who was out for the season, so he's back now. You guys still have Robert Alford, Brian Poole, and Jalen Collins. Jalen Collins, who came in last season and did better than anybody expected. Having Desmond Trufant in the playoffs next season is going to be vital for this team to get back into the Super Bowl. We all know Desmond Trufant is a literal lockdown corner. You put Desmond on anybody and he's going to limit their production. With their safeties, Ricardo Allen, Keanu Neal were their 1-2 safeties last season. Now, Keanu Neal, he did exactly what I expected him to do. He's trying to become one of the better strong safeties in the NFL, and last season, like Deion Jones, he was a Defensive Rookie of the Year candidate. Now, Ricardo Allen by no means is the best free safety in the league. By no means is he great, but he's average, and that's okay. You need some average players at your positions. I mean, you can't have an all-pro at every position, so I mean, he's fine. Damontae Kazee, though, he is going to be a very unusual case. He played cornerback at San Diego State, and now you guys are transitioning him into the free safety slot. I want to see how he does in the preseason before I write him as the starting free safety. So yeah, guys, that is my roster breakdown. Altogether, you guys have a ton of talent. This is now my season prediction for the Atlanta Falcons. Week by week, I have you guys losing to the Buffalo Bills, which might shock you guys, but listen, I don't know why people don't understand. Any given Sunday, it's just a fact. You guys have to lose to a bad team. It's just how it goes, okay? I have you guys beating the New England Patriots, not because I have them doing terrible this season, but because the Falcons are going to try embarrassing them for blowing that 28-3 lead. And the New England Patriots, let's be real here, man. They lose some games on purpose from time to time. I really think that they do it to keep people from predicting them come the playoffs. It's weird, but that's just how I view it. An 11-5 record isn't bad. I've given an 11-5 record to most of the division winners, so I mean, hey, I'm being a bit conservative this season, and I mean, you can't blame me for that. I gotta give wins out here and there sometimes, so that's just what I got, man. 11-5 is my prediction. The worst case scenario for you guys is a 9-7 season, best case 14-2. The one thing most of us are going to keep an eye on, though, is if Matty Ice can replicate his season under this drunk man Steve Sarkisian. Steve Sarkisian really needs to do well for the Atlanta Falcons if he wants to get back into being a head coach. So yeah, guys, that is my prediction for the Atlanta Falcons 2017 NFL season. If you enjoyed this video at all, make sure to leave a like, and most importantly, subscribe, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.